Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Calculator Champions. This is going to start a little series based around multiply gems. When I was doing my definitive guide to gem damage, link below, I wanted to add most of this stuff in there, and I realized that would just create even longer of a video than what I created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split down multiply gems and all of its various concepts into a couple of different individual episodes. Hopefully make them a little bit more digestible and a little bit easier to watch. Okay, so the first episode is the foundation. And the foundation is going to be how multiply gems work, where they come from, and how to use them. All right. And multiply gems are one of these specialty gem types. Much like botch gems or row break gems, you can use a move or sometimes a plate to generate multiply gems on the gem board itself. All right. Shawn Michaels, DX Army, is one of the old school multiply gem users, and he's still relevant to this day. And I figured, where better could you start than DX HBK? His move makes 3 random blue gems into multiply gems of strength 5. Okay, so when you use this move, 3 random blue gems will have this little 5x show up right on top of them. And when you have a gem on the gem board that has a multiplied specialty type on top of it, that means if you break that gem, you will do equivalent damage to 3 instances. Or sorry, in this case, 5 instances of that one gem. So if you do a 3 swipe, it's a single gem, and then this 5x gem, you will get essentially 7 instances of damage from that gem. One thing to note, I'm saying instances for a reason. Multiply gems, unlike most other types of buffs in the game, don't necessarily work off of base gem damage. It works off of everything else. So Shawn Michaels' base blue gem damage is 14,895. When you break one of his 5x multiply gems, you're not multiplying that base gem damage by 5 and then adding some other buffs to it. No, it is the entirety of all the buffs on that blue gem multiplied 5. You're breaking 5 instances of that in one. I hope that makes sense. And that's what really matters when it comes to the damage side of multiply gems. And the reason that multiply gems are so effective and basically meta defining right now. Right? You ask anybody what's the best way to do big damage, it's multiply gems and it's moves that buff gem damage. That's it. That's the 2 biggest ways to do damage in the game right now. And the reason multipliers are so big is because they multiply the instances, not the base gem damage. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to use my calculator to kind of show off what I mean by that. Okay. So let's kind of start from the beginning and we'll just kind of work our way into it. Base gem damage, I have most of this preloaded, but I'll go over it all anyway. Base gem damage is 14,895. Strap bonus, I got 100% strap on him, and I do have 2 sets of Fury 2s. Okay, so that's where 80% comes from. This metal is a 35%er, and I have no substats anywhere. I'm not using any flat gem damage metals. And so I got my 35% here, no flat, no substats. Trainers, I've got AFA for 30, and Acro RVD for 35. That gets me to 65% trainer bonus. I have my blue gem flat damage trainer, King Sheamus, here for 12k. Okay. If I had gear would operate the same way as all of this would. Unfortunately, DX Shawn does not have any gear that increases any gem damage. Be cool. Moments, there are 2. For the purposes of the calculator, the only one that matters is all color gems do 200% more damage, which I have right here. Important to note, his 2 moments multiply gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 3. Each moment will do that. Okay, so essentially the 2 moments here increases multiply gems strength by 6. His move does 5. The moments do 6, so they should be 11 coming out of the gate. Okay. The one trainer I didn't talk about is Mosh. Multiplied gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 1, so that puts us at 12. Each one of his multiplied gems will be 12. And then I wanted the extra create 5 more multiplied gems. That's why I wanted Mosh in this situation instead of any of the other ones. By the way, don't worry. Another video I'll go over Mosh, Sherry, when to use Leo, when to use a zombie, etc. It's coming. Give me time. Okay. The reason I wanted Mosh is because that will trigger the Pyro Princess plate. Whenever you make 6 or more multiplied gems, increase your blue gem damage by 50% for 1 turn. And then over here, the Heart Stopper, whenever you activate a blue move, which is the one that throws his multis, increase your blue gem damage by 50% for 1 turn. Okay, this is, which is 100% over here. This right here is, they're all the same. Whether it comes from a medal, or a gear, or a moment, or a plate, the way the extra gem damage works is the same no matter the source, right? It takes base gem damage, multiplies it by a percentage, and then it adds it to this base gem damage. So it's really this number plus all these numbers gets you to this one here. 113,287. All right. Side note, there's some rounding errors in my calculator. I'm close enough. So let's get in and let's test it. We're going to go against Hall of Fame Stone Cold. We're going to do it because he didn't have a strap, so I don't have to worry about armor medals. In fact, the only gem defense down he has is from red gems. Okay. Got nothing else going on other than some gears, but the gears don't affect this at all. Let's go test it out. Let's go test it out. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got enough to proc both the Pyro Princess plate and the Heart Stopper plate. So we're going to toss it. Now, over here, we know that I don't have a regular blue gem anymore. Should have checked. Should have been 113,287. Down here, I've got 12 multipliers. Okay. Result, I should be looking at 1,359,444. There's rounding errors. It's probably about 6 less. 12 less. Okay. 1,359,432. So that's the way it works, right? He's throwing out multiplied gems of strength 12 from his moments and Mosh. He's throwing enough of them to trigger the Pyro plate, and the blue move triggered the Heart Stopper plate. And all of this other gem damage and the base gem damage added up to this amount. So that's how much damage we're going to do with each one of these gems. And then we're going to break 8 of them instantly. 8 times 12 is 96. So we just did 96. We took this number and multiplied by 96. That's essentially what we did. That's why it gets so big. That's why multiplied gems are so dominant in the meta right now. No matter how you break them. Honestly, multiplied gems, even on secondary, tertiary colors, if you can make them large enough, doesn't matter because it takes all of the gym damage that you can create and then multiplies that instance by however many numbers is on the gym itself. It's huge. It gets real big, real fast. Big boy number. I'm going to skip the gym multiplier trainer percent and the gym multiply trainer flat for a different video. As things start getting a little weird here. They get a little weird here. All right. So I'm going to leave these be. But one thing we didn't talk about was activated buffs. Activated buffs are things like boss battle buffs or a move that increases gym damage, because the way those moves work is they take the entire whole and they multiply off of that as well. Well, multiply gems do the same thing, right? They take all of this number right here, and then multiply that number by 12. This actually hits last. So you're multiplying a number that has already been multiplied. So it gets real big very fast. I'm going to go over it with you right here. The best example of this that I could find is the Immortal. Okay. I'm going to have to change my calculator real quick. Talk you through it. If you're playing along at home, 69,579. Ooh, that's not right. So his base gem damage is 69,579. Okay. His strap, 100%. Double Furies, 35. Right. Percent trainer bonus. I kind of lucked out. I've got 20 here, 5 here for 25. And then 40 here gets us to 65. Vader does no actual gem damage. Okay, so I got 65% here. I don't have a flat percent trainer. His gear is only MP. His moment is slightly different. I have 2 moments for Hogan. I know there's a third. Multiply gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 1, and then gems do 25% more damage. And then the other one is all color gems do 100% more damage. So we're at that 125%. And then I don't have any plates. Okay. Now, one thing will screw up my calculations here, and that is Stone Cold does have gem defense against me. Receive less damage from red gems. I believe it's 5%. Okay. So going into the match, my red gems should be doing 351, 376. They will actually show as 347, 897. If I've done my math right. Or just frankly remember what Lawler does. So the numbers are going to be a little bit low. It's okay. The concept will still kind of shine through. Red gems, 347, 895. Close enough for government work. We're going to make some multiplied gems. And I think there's strength 6, right? Yep. So we can expect each multiplied gem to do 2,108,256. That's actually a little high because of the gem defense. And yeah, we can see it right there. It's down by 8 commas. Yeah, it's down by the gem defense enough to put it within range. Okay. That should be 7. Yep. Yep. So each instance of this is also getting hit with this 3,000, I believe. Or just one instance. If I had 3,000, it's 2. Yeah, that's somewhere in the realm of close to being right. I haven't gone through and done all the math on that one. All right, so we're close enough, but Now, when we hit this move here, increase the damage of all your gems by 350% for 3 turns. The activated buff, whether it comes from a move or a perk, takes the big number and then multiplies that again. Okay? That's where stuff starts getting pretty wild. Total gem damage with modifiers and activated move, we are at 1.58. So let's use it. 1.56. We already talked about it. That's what's happening. And then we're taking that and multiplying that instance by 6. We're up to 9.393. Close enough. So when I said that the meta is being defined by multiply gems and these activated gem buff moves, this is what I'm talking about. We took base gem damage of, let's call it 70k, with just a 6x multiplier on it. We're, 9.4 million. That is a huge swing. And there's nothing crazy on here, right? I'm not using particularly rare trainers. You can duplicate this setup. And you can duplicate this setup with any card that you have that can do these types of things, like the activated buff move and throw out multipliers. And there are multiple cards that can do it. Yeah, it just skyrockets damage. Let's do it again. Here. Each red gem should, well, I do have one with a multiplier left on it. Should be about 16.6 million. Yep, there it is. On one gem with a 6x multiplier on it, you're at 16.6 million. That's more health than a 6-star bronze. It's more health than a 6-star bronze. That's why this is so impactful right now. Any way to pin him? Nope, just gonna have to play. So that's how gem damage or multiplied gems work, and the damage that goes behind them. Okay. If you want to mess around with this, like I said, I'll have the link to the calculator below. You can kind of figure it all out within a couple of digits and mess around with it. But that is the base general concept. Yeah. Do me a favor. Let me know if I've missed anything, or if there's anything about multiplied gems that I didn't cover in this video. Let me know in the comments what I could go over and try to clear up for you. Hopefully have another video about this out within a week or so. And as always, if you've learned anything today, if you've been entertained by anything today, or if you just like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, share to your faction mates, and thanks for the support. Talk to you next time.